Welcome to Learning English from People.
Robin Williams, The Price of 1,000 Smiles. Most people remember Robin Williams for his incredible energy. He made millions of people laugh. His smile was famous around the world. But behind that smile, he fought a difficult, private battle. This is the story of a man who brought so much joy to others while searching for his own peace. He was a true star of comedy and a brilliant actor, but his life shows us that even the brightest lights can have the darkest shadows. Robin's life started in a quiet, wealthy home. He was born on July 21, 1951 in Chicago. His family had a lot of money. His father, Robert, was an important leader at the Ford Motor Company. He was a busy man and often away from home. Robin's mother, Laurie, was a former model. She was beautiful and smart. Young Robin always tried to make his mother laugh. It was his first time performing for an audience. His family moved many times because of his father's job. For a long time, they lived in a very large house in Michigan. The house had 40 rooms. In this big, empty space, Robin was often alone. His parents were busy with work. A maid took care of him, and she became his main friend. He was a shy boy and a little overweight. Other children at his school sometimes bullied him. So, he spent a lot of time by himself. He used his imagination to fill the empty rooms. He played with toy soldiers and created many different characters. This lonely world was his first stage. Everything changed when he discovered the drama department at his high school. On stage, the quiet boy found a place for all his energy. He was not shy under the bright lights. Instead, he was confident, funny, and interesting. Everyone loved watching him. His classmates voted him funniest when they graduated in 1969. But they also voted him most likely not to succeed. They knew his path would be different from everyone else's. After high school, Robin went to college to study political science. This is the study of government and power, but he was not happy. He soon left that school to follow his dream. He wanted to be an actor. He went to a new college in California. His talent was clear to everyone. One of his teachers told his wife that Robin was going to be something special. He was so good that he got a full scholarship to a famous school in New York City. The school was called Juilliard. At Juilliard, Robin was very different from the other students. The school was serious and taught old, classic styles of acting. Robin was full of wild, modern energy. His classmate and roommate was Christopher Reeve, the man who would later play Superman. Reeve was tall, serious, and followed the rules. Robin was the opposite. They were an unusual pair, but they became very close friends. Reeve said Robin was like a balloon that was let go. He had energy everywhere. His teachers did not always understand him. John Houseman, the head of the school, was confused by Robin's style. Another teacher said his acting was just stand-up comedy. But then Robin performed in a serious play. He played an old man, and his performance was powerful and deep. It showed everyone he was more than just a comedian. He was a genius, but Juilliard's strict rules could not hold him. In 1976, Houseman told Robin he should leave. He said the school had nothing more to teach him. Robin was too original for their world. So Robin Williams left school and went to San Francisco. In the 1970s, the city was a center for new ideas and art. Robin started performing stand-up comedy. At first, he worked as a bartender at a comedy club. Then he started to perform on its small stage. This is where he developed his famous style. He spoke very fast, jumping from one idea to another. He was like a musician playing with words. He talked about news, movies, and everyday life in a very funny way. Audiences loved him. Other comedians were amazed. David Letterman saw him perform and thought, "My career is over. I can't compete with that." But this exciting world also had a dark side. Many comedians used drugs and alcohol to handle the pressure. Robin felt a lot of pressure to always be funny and on. He started using drugs too. The drugs made his energy more intense, but they also made him feel scared and worried. This became a dangerous cycle that would affect him for many years. His career grew very quickly. A TV producer saw his comedy show and gave him a job. That job led to another opportunity. He was asked to try out for a part on the popular TV show Happy Days. The character was an alien from space named Mork. The producer, Gary Marshall, asked Robin to sit down. Instead, Robin sat on his head. He got the job immediately. His performance on the show was a huge success. He was so funny and different that the creators decided to give him his own show. The new show was called Mork and Mindy. It started in 1978 and made Robin Williams a huge star all over the world. The show was perfect for his talent. He was allowed to improvise, which means making up his lines as he performed. Every week, 60 million people watched the friendly alien Mork learn about life on Earth. Robin's face was on the cover of big magazines like Time. He was not just a comedian anymore. He was a part of culture. After his success on television, Robin moved to movies. His first films were not very successful, but in 1987, he starred in a movie that changed everything. The movie was Good Morning, Vietnam. Robin played Adrian Cronauer, a radio DJ for the American Army during the Vietnam War. His character was funny and broke the rules. The director let Robin improvise all the radio scenes. The result was pure Robin Williams. He was full of energy, funny voices, and smart jokes about the war. This performance earned him his first nomination for an Academy Award, or Oscar. The world finally saw that the funny man from Mork and Mindy was also a powerful, serious actor. This success started a golden time for Robin Williams. He made many of his most famous movies during this period. In 1989, he was John Keating in Dead Poets Society. He played a special English teacher with new ideas. He told his students to seize the day, to live life fully. The final scene of the movie is very famous. His students stand on their desks and say, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." It became a powerful symbol for how a great teacher can change lives. The role showed he could make people laugh and cry in the same movie. Then, he became the voice of the genie in Disney's movie Aladdin in 1992. The part was written just for him. The artists even animated the character to match his performance. He recorded about 30 hours of material. He improvised many different voices and impressions of famous people. The genie was not just a character. It was the spirit of Robin Williams. The performance changed how actors worked on animated movies. It made Aladdin a huge success. But Robin had a problem with Disney. He felt they used his voice for marketing without his permission. This showed he was a man with strong beliefs. He would not let a powerful company use him. Later, a new leader at Disney apologized, and their relationship improved. The 1990s continued with more successful movies. He played a grown-up Peter Pan in Hook. He played a loving father who dressed up as an old woman in Mrs. Doubtfire. This role was a perfect mix of physical comedy and real emotion. He played a man stuck inside a magical game in Jumanji. Then, in 1997, he gave a performance that finally won him an Oscar. The movie was Good Will Hunting. Robin played Sean Maguire, a therapist from Boston. A therapist is a doctor who helps people with their feelings. His job was to help a young man who was a genius but had many problems. Robin's performance was very quiet and powerful. He did not use his usual high energy. He showed deep pain, wisdom, and kindness. In one famous scene, he sits on a park bench and talks to the young man. He gently repeats the words, "It's not your fault." It was a beautiful moment of acting. When he won the Oscar, he was full of pure joy. He had finally received the biggest award for his work. While his career was full of success, his personal life had its own challenges. He married his first wife, Valerie, in 1978. They had a son named Zachary, but the pressure of being famous was difficult. His problems with addiction also hurt their relationship. In 1982, his friend, the comedian John Belushi, died from drugs. This event was a terrible shock for Robin. It made him decide to get sober and stop using drugs. He started a new, healthier addiction, riding bicycles. It was a love that stayed with him for his whole life. His first marriage ended in 1988. The next year, he married his son's nanny, Marcia Garces. Some people criticized this, but his first wife later said her relationship with Robin was already over. With Marcia, he had 2 more children, Zelda and Cody. They were a family for almost 20 years, but his personal struggles with addiction and depression never completely went away. In 2003, he started drinking alcohol again. In 2006, he went to a special hospital called Rehab to get help. His marriage to Marcia ended in 2010. 1 year later, he married for a 3rd time to a designer named Susan Schneider. He spent his final years with her. In the 2000s, Robin continued to act in new and different kinds of movies. He played darker characters. In One Hour Photo, he was a lonely and scary photo developer. In Insomnia, he played a killer. These roles showed he wanted to explore the sad and difficult parts of human life. He understood these feelings very well from his own experiences. He also returned to television and acted in a play on Broadway in New York. But it seemed like his bright, creative fire was starting to burn a little lower. Around 2013, a new and frightening problem began. He started to feel very worried all the time. He could not sleep well. He had trouble with his memory. He began to feel paranoid, which means he felt people were against him. He knew something was very wrong with his mind. He told his wife, "I just want to reboot my brain." Doctors did not know what was wrong. At first, they thought he had Parkinson's disease, but his symptoms were different. Robin Williams, the man with the fastest mind in the world, was losing control of it. He knew it was happening, and he was terrified. His wife later said the disease was like a terrorist inside my husband's brain. It was a cruel and constant attack. On August 11, 2014, at his home in California, Robin Williams ended his own life. He was 63 years old. The world was shocked and sad. People could not understand. How could the man who brought so much joy feel so much pain? The answer came after his death. An autopsy, a medical study of the body, showed the truth. He did not just have depression or Parkinson's. He had a terrible disease called diffuse Lewy body dementia. It is a disease that attacks the brain and changes a person's thoughts, memory, and movements. Doctors said the disease in his brain was one of the worst cases they had ever seen. His final act was not about sadness. It was an escape from a terrible disease he could not control. After his death, people everywhere shared their love for him. President Barack Obama said, "He arrived in our lives as an alien, but he ended up touching every element of the human spirit." People remembered him in special ways. In Boston, fans stood on benches in the park from Good Will Hunting. The lights on Broadway were turned down to honor him. A tunnel near his home was named after him. The world was crying for a man it loved. Robin Williams left behind a legacy that is big and complex, just like he was. He changed stand-up comedy forever. He was a brilliant actor who could be funny one moment and deeply serious the next. He was also a very kind person. He helped start a charity called Comic Relief USA, which raised money for people in need. He often traveled to entertain American soldiers far from home. He was a man of contrasts. He was a shy boy who became a world-famous performer. He was a symbol of public joy who fought a private battle with pain. His mind was faster than anyone's, but in the end, his own brain failed him. At his center, he was a gentle person who wanted to connect with people. He wanted to make their pain go away, maybe because he knew pain so well himself. He seized the day, and he taught us all to do the same. He left us with movies and performances that will make us laugh and cry for many years to come. Oh, Captain, my Captain, your journey is done.